22 calls for particular attention to the rights and special needs of Indigenous women and calls upon states to take relief response. To promote, protect, call on all states to take effective measures to reverse current carbon emission trends that are negatively affecting the Pacific Ocean. Finding number 6, request that the UN Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights and fundamental freedoms of indigenous peoples come to Hawaii to investigate the adverse effects of the U.S. military occupation of our Hawaiian homeland on our papa, our mother, and other descendants that are making indigenous Hawaiians. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present some of the views of West Papua indigenous people. Before I present some of the views in this very important event, allow me to express my feeling of pride and happiness in attending the 7th session of the UNPFII. I want also expressing my gratitude to the Secretariat of the UNPFII who worked very hard to host this event. On behalf of West Papua indigenous people, we express our deepest appreciation for the recent adoption of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. We are proud to be indigenous people. Indigenous people are rich of tradition and contribute to cultural diversity. We hope that during the second decade and before the end of the Millennium Development Goals, we will be able to develop our aspiration and future, including welfare, and contribute to the development of the world indigenous people, and particular West Papua indigenous people who are denied their rights and demand attention. We West Papua indigenous people continue to suffer discrimination, marginalization, extreme poverty, conflict, and human rights abuses. We face disposition of our traditional lands and livelihoods, displacement, destruction of our belief system, culture, language, race, and way of life if under threat of extinction. Over 45 years since 1963, our human rights and fundamental freedom in West Papua have never been fully guaranteed. These have been impeding the economic and social development of the indigenous people in West Papua. The presence of the Bill of Law of the Republic of Indonesia number 21 of the year 2001 on the special autonomy to Papua does not guarantee fully the freedom of expression of West Papuan, rights and fundamental freedom that are protected by international instruments. The international cooperation in the special autonomy in Papua led by ILO, UNDP, UNICEF, etc. is ineffective in implementing the rules necessary to the needs of indigenous people who are living in precarious conditions and experiment and development, unemployment, poverty, discrimination, lack of education, and health services. Indigenous people from West Papua are far from having reached the Millennium Development Goals. In the era of the special autonomy amidst various humanitarian problems, although the special autonomy was granted as means to provide a solution to improve the life of indigenous people in West Papua, the human rights violations have increased, health problems have not been taken care of, education, infrastructure, and welfare problems persist and increasingly deteriorate. On 12 August 2005, indigenous people of West Papua did demonstration in the street of Jayapura to show their opposition to the special autonomy that did bring an appropriate solution to resolve the problem faced by West Papua indigenous people. Dividing the Papua province by the decree of President number 1 of the year 2003 into 3 province in development program, ignored the special autonomy and 10 West Papuan indigenous people of 1.5 million into minority ethnic Negroid race. The West Papua indigenous people became lost into majority of 210 million population of Indonesia. Many foreign Indonesian settlers came to occupy the land and heritage of West Papua. As the special autonomy failed, a new presidential decree number 5 was enacted in 2007. This presidential decree number 5 promoted the acceleration of the development in Papua and West Papua province and ignored the autonomy and authority of the central government. The province has sent down 11 ministers to implement the provision related to development contained in this new decree. This was done against the spirit of the special autonomy for Papua. The regulation number 77 of the year 2007 prohibited the Monista flag symbol as a cultural emblem, although the symbol had been determined by Papua People Assembly, MRP, and Papua People House Representative, DPRP, according Article 2 of the Bill of Law of the Special Autonomy. The regulation number 78 of the year 2007 divided the province of Papua Barat Daya Province, Papua Tengah, and Papua Selatan, thus ignoring the Bill of Law of Special Autonomy for Papua. This will bring more military that will occupy the territory and increase human rights violations. Today, West Papua indigenous people demand peace and justice. West Papua indigenous people call upon the United Nations for the realization of the provision contained in the Article 3 of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, which states that indigenous people have the right to self-determination and the right to freely determine their political status. self-determination will enable indigenous people in West Papua to reach the Millennium Development Goals. Thank you.
PNG government to ensure that the PNG mines do not violate indigenous people's rights. This reflects the historical
UN headquarters, New York.